How to make AI QR codes. You've probably seen these beautiful AI QR codes going viral on Twitter. In this video, I will show you how to create these AI QR codes using Stable Diffusion and ControlNet. After multiple failed attempts, I was finally able to create working AI QR codes, and I will share with you what worked for me. I tried with multiple 1.5 SD models, but those for some reason didn't work for me. But my first attempt using a 2.1 model worked. Before we get started, be sure to have Stable Diffusion and ControlNet installed. You'll also need a QR code. For me, I used. To generate my QR code, enter your URL. Then under error correction level, select high. Now go ahead and generate your QR code. When that's done, download it. Next, go to canva.com. Click Create a Design and select a custom size. You can use 512 by 512 or 768 by 768. I will be using 768 by 768. Click Create a New Design. Upload the QR code you made, then drag it into the canvas. Now click Share, Download, select PNG and download the QR code. Now you want to head over to this link. You'll have the option to use this with 2.1 or 1.5 Stable Diffusion models. Click on the Files and Versions tab. You will see this. Next, download the SD21 and SD15 safe tensors and YAML files. Save them to your Stable Diffusion models ControlNet folder. Now that you have your ControlNet QR code models, fire up Stable Diffusion. If you already have it open, then just click on the blue refresh button under ControlNet to make sure that the ControlNet models are installed properly. You need to decide which Stable Diffusion checkpoint you'll want to use, a 2.1 or 1.5 model. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I had nothing but failed attempts using tons of settings with 1.5 models. When I switched to a 2.1 model, it worked on the first try. However, this is what worked for me, and you may have different results. So here is how you create these AI-generated QR codes. Start up Stable Diffusion. Drag and drop your QR code into the ControlNet and hit the Enable button. Now under Preprocessors, select Invert. Select the SD21 QR code model. Set your control weight to 1.6. Set the preprocessor resolution to 768. Depending on your prompt and the type of image you're going for, your results will vary. Get your prompt ready, and for me, I'll do a batch of 10. Just to have options to choose from and to have a higher chance of generating a working AI QR code. For my personal prompt, I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'll go with only a head with neural link from a cyborg with glowing cables. Click Generate and wait. Here are the results. I opened my phone camera to scan them to see which one worked. And 9 out of 10 worked. They are not the most beautiful AI-generated QR codes, so let's mess with the control weight. Those results were made with a control weight setting of 1.6. Let's try with 1.3 and see what we get. Here are the results with control weight 1.3. 7 out of 10 worked using control weight 1.3. However, the image results are a little better in my opinion, so you'll need to play with the settings to see what works best for you. Now, if you're wondering which SD model I used, I went with the Illuminati Diffusion model. The cool thing is, I took the AI-generated QR code that I personally liked and threw it in Photoshop. I added a camera raw filter and an S-curve to make it pop a bit more. Here are the results. Next, I wanted to test things from image to image. So I generated an image I wanted to use, then took it over to Image tab. This is the image I used. I kept the settings default and used the same ControlNet settings and ended up with this. Damn. Not bad at all. Next, I wanted to see if it would work without entering a prompt, so I erased the prompt and tried it out. I had multiple failed attempts, however. When I used multiple ControlNets, I was able to get a working image-to-image version without a prompt. I kept all the settings the same except I added another ControlNet, which was canny. I also clicked on Restore Faces and set the denoise strength to 0.5. Here are the settings I used for multiple ControlNet settings. And this is the results I ended up with. Of course, you'll have to mess with your own prompts, models, and settings, and as I mentioned, this is my testing and results. What works for me may not necessarily work for you, so I encourage you to use this video tutorial as a base to help get you started. One last thing, I wanted to see if it would work using an AI image generated from Adobe's text-to-image. So I went over to express.adobe.com and generated an image using Adobe Express. For the hell of it, I used the same prompt, only a head with neural link from a cyborg with glowing cables. And this is what I got from Adobe Express. Wow. Now let's see if it works with image to image and no prompt. My first attempt failed. The QR code just wouldn't work. So I increased the batch count to 10 to see if maybe it's just a numbers game. Fail. All 10 didn't work. Okay, well, I'm sure with more testing we can fine-tune things. However, I'll leave it at that. Now you know how to generate AI QR codes. Go out and get started. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and feel free to share some tips and tricks. That brings us to the end of today's insightful journey into the world of AI. If you found this video valuable and want to stay up to date with the latest trends and breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, please hit that like button. It lets us know that you appreciate the content. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll become part of a community that's at the forefront of AI discussions. And remember, by clicking the bell icon, you'll get notified whenever we upload new content, ensuring you never miss a beat in this fast-paced field. Finally, we encourage you to share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. We love hearing from you, and your insights could spark fascinating discussions among the AI controversy community. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.